For the past 6 months, I've been studying and personally testing out every height method there is, and the results have been great. In this video, I'll cover every height technique in a full height maxing guide. There will be timestamps on the bottom of this video if you've already been caught up with some portions of the video from a previous guide of mine. Without wasting further time, let's get into it. Number 1. Full Growth Hormone Optimization Guide. You can grow taller at any age, but how? The secret is to boost your growth hormone. In this video, I'll talk about 7 tips to help you boost your growth hormone. Before we jump into the actionable tips, it is important to understand how growth hormone actually works in relation to height growth. For those who are still in their pre-puberty or puberty phase, human growth hormone targets your growth plates, resulting in bone growth lengthwise. Now, if you're past puberty and your growth plates have fused, don't worry, there's still a way for you to potentially grow taller. The focus now shifts from stimulating cartilage growth to healing microfractures. Microfractures are tiny cracks in the bone matrix. They are not serious stress fractures but small, manageable cracks that occur when you perform high-impact activities like sprinting or jumping. The goal here is to engage in these activities to create these microfractures and then rest up, allowing your body to heal. This healing process is aided by HGH, which promotes bone regeneration and growth. HGH not only helps with height but has also been shown to improve bone density, making it beneficial for overall bone health. And if all else fails, boosting your growth hormone will still help you build more muscle mass in the gym, so it's a win-win. Now you need to understand that your daily actions significantly impact how much growth hormone your body actually releases. Understanding this relationship between your habits and human growth hormone production is the key to optimizing its levels in your body. With that understanding, let's move on to the tips. Tip number 1. Prioritize consistent sleeping patterns. Now I know, you've heard of the generic advice, and that is to sleep 7 to 8 hours every day. But trust me, there's more to it. The first tip is to sleep at the same time every night, because the majority of HGH is released within the first hour of your sleep, and this is heavily influenced by your circadian rhythm. That means if you go to bed at inconsistent times, you risk missing that vital HGH release window. By maintaining a regular sleep schedule, you ensure that your body gets its daily dose of growth hormone. Prioritize getting deep sleep rather than just sleeping for some certain amount of hours. Tip number 2. Avoid eating before bed. It's also important to avoid eating 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, particularly carbohydrates. When you eat, your body experiences an insulin spike, which inhibits growth hormone release. Consuming foods, especially carbs, right before bed can interfere with the natural release of growth hormone that happens during sleep. Avoiding sugar is equally important because it leads to higher blood glucose levels, which in turn triggers insulin spikes. Instead, opt for complex carbohydrates like whole foods and avoid processed junk foods. Tip number 3. Supplementation. For those who are seeking to optimize their growth hormone levels, supplementing with key amino acids like glutamine, glycine and lysine can make a significant difference. These amino acids in their biologically active L form can help increase the bioavailability of proteins that are necessary for growth hormone production. There are specific supplements such as tri-amino formulas that combine these amino acids in optimal dosages to further boost your growth hormone levels. For better sleep, consider taking melatonin supplements. They can be useful if you're struggling with sleep issues. However, I do not recommend taking any of these supplements since it takes away the ability of your body to naturally produce melatonin. So make sure you seek professional medical advice before taking any of the above supplements. Keep in mind that consistent deep sleep is critical for maximizing human growth hormone production, so make this as your number 1 priority if you want to grow taller. Tip number 4. Maintain a low body fat percentage. Aim to stay within 10 to 15% range of body fat. This helps stabilize insulin levels and reduces visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat that surrounds your organs, which can impair HGH release. If you're obese or overweight, you're going to have a lot of estrogen in your body, which can make your growth plates close prematurely. This also reduces your testosterone and affects the production of growth hormone and IGF-1.
So make sure you're active and engaged in physical activities and make sure that you're fit. I mentioned IGF-1. It stands for insulin growth factor. This is another hormone that increases your height. I will make a separate guide to maximize this hormone in the future, so stay tuned. Tip number 5. Increase bioavailable amino acids. HGH, collagen and IGF-1 are all built from amino acids, so it's important to ensure that you have a high bioavailability of these raw compounds in your body. This starts with consuming protein-rich foods such as mutton, fish, chicken, and eggs. Additionally, incorporating probiotics like yogurt and curd can help improve your gut health, allowing for better breakdown of proteins into amino acids and improved absorption of these essential nutrients. Tip number 6. Fasting. While not a primary method, fasting triggers the release of ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, which has been linked to HGH production. I personally do intermittent fasting every day and it is a life changer, so try it out for yourself. Tip number 7. Avoid smoking and drinking alcohol. We all know that. But how bad does it actually impair HGH release? Smoking introduces nicotine into your body, which disrupts the normal functioning of your endocrine system. This can inhibit the release of growth hormone from the pituitary gland. Smoking also reduces oxygen levels in your bloodstream. Growth hormone actually requires adequate oxygen to properly stimulate the growth and repair of tissues including bones and muscles. Smoking has also been linked to the onset of early puberty, which can cause the growth plates to close prematurely, limiting your height potential. Alcohol, especially when consumed in excess, significantly suppresses the secretion of growth hormone. This is particularly detrimental when alcohol is consumed before sleep, which is when most human growth hormone is released. Alcohol impairs protein synthesis and muscle recovery, reducing your body's ability to repair and grow muscle tissue, which relies on growth hormone for regeneration. Alcohol also increases the levels of cortisol hormone, which is called as the stress hormone that works in opposition to growth hormone. Elevated cortisol levels suppresses growth hormone production, limiting its growth and recovery benefits. Both smoking and alcohol consumption can have a negative impact on growth hormone production and can hinder growth, tissue repair, and muscle maintenance. If you're aiming to boost your human growth hormone levels for height growth and your overall health, it is essential to avoid or minimize smoking and drinking alcohol. A bonus tip for those who stuck around till the end, I'm proud of you. Tip number 8. Use deep sleep frequencies or subliminals. Consider using sound frequencies in the 0.5 to 5 Hz range, which mimics delta waves, which is associated with deep sleep. You can also use sounds like bird chirping and nature-like sounds like waterfalls along with these frequencies to help you sleep better. These nature sounds make us feel close to nature and helps us sleep faster. I have been using this hack for some time now and it is a life changer. I literally fall asleep within 5 minutes, so try it out for yourself.
Number 2. Full IGF-1 boosting guide. You can grow taller at any age by boosting this one hormone that literally adds inches to your height. That hormone is IGF-1, short for insulin-like growth factor 1. Here's how it works. Growth hormone is first produced by your pituitary gland. It then travels to your liver where it transforms into IGF-1. This hormone then activates bone growth and repairs tissues. Here's how you can boost IGF-1. By spiking blood sugar levels after fasting. Eating after a fast like in the morning triggers a blood sugar spike that supports IGF-1 production. That's why breakfast can be a very good growth tool. After hours without food, your body's insulin sensitivity increases, making that morning meal even more effective for IGF-1 activation. Of course, don't eat something sugary to spike your blood sugar. Instead, choose a balanced meal which is rich in proteins and complex carbohydrates. A faster metabolism stimulates IGF-1 release. Activities such as strength training, sprinting, and high-intensity interval training boosts your metabolism and increases IGF-1 levels. Plus, exercising creates micro tears in your muscles, prompting your body to release IGF-1 to repair and strengthen them. So don't worry about stunting your growth with weights. That is a very common gym myth. If anything, the gym and working out can actually help increase your height potential. And while exercise builds up IGF-1, the right foods help to sustain this. Food fuels growth, and the right foods can help elevate IGF-1 levels. High-protein foods such as meat, fish, eggs and dairy contains amino acids which are essential for IGF-1 production. Milk, for example, has a complete amino acid profile. Leafy greens such as spinach supplies magnesium and potassium, which helps IGF-1 work even better inside your body. Now, if you're wondering how else you can give IGF-1 a boost in your body, let's talk about boron. This mineral supports bone health and boosts IGF-1 levels. Foods like prunes, raisins and nuts provide boron and can enhance your bone density, which is crucial for growing taller. Try eating a handful of raisins or a few prunes every day to help strengthen your bones, giving them the best environment for IGF-1 to work its magic. Boron is key, but there is another crucial habit that you cannot afford to miss if you want to grow taller, and that habit is sleep. And not just sleep, it is quality sleep for optimal growth. Did you know that the majority of your growth hormone is released during deep sleep? That's right, quality sleep isn't just about feeling rested, it's about maximizing your IGF-1 levels and growth hormone levels. Aim for 7 to 9 hours every night, focusing on consistent deep sleep. If you're tempted to scroll on your phone until 2 a.m. in the night, think twice. Your height actually depends on getting quality rest. And while sleep sets the stage for IGF-1, managing your stress levels is just as crucial. Stress doesn't just affect your mood, it impacts your hormones. High stress raises cortisol levels in your body, which can interfere with IGF-1. To grow taller, manage stress by taking breaks, practicing deep breathing, or doing something relaxing every single day. Lower cortisol means more room for growth hormone and IGF-1 release. And that brings us to the foundation of all of these habits, and that is consistency. Consistency is the glue holding all of these together. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, and stress management will not work for you if you only practice them occasionally. Making these habits a part of your daily life helps maintain IGF-1 levels, maximizing your height potential. Growth isn't a one-time effort, it is a lifestyle. So if you're ready to grow taller, start putting all of these steps into action. Each of these habits is a building block towards unlocking your true height potential. Number 3. Full sleep optimization guide.
Have you ever looked in the mirror and wished that you were just a little bit more taller? Maybe you've tried some exercises and now you're wondering, maybe it's just my genetics which is holding me back. But what if I told you that there's one secret weapon that most people completely overlook? A tool that can unlock inches of your height if used and done correctly. And that tool is sleep. The way you sleep can either be your best friend or your worst enemy when it comes to height growth. Every night while you sleep, your body works behind the scenes, releasing growth hormones, repairing itself, you name it. And if you're missing out on quality sleep or making some mistakes during those crucial hours, you're literally sabotaging your chances to grow taller. But don't worry, I'm about to show you the exact steps to optimize your sleep tonight and finally give your body the chance it needs to grow taller. Point number 1. The golden hours for human growth hormone production. First up, let's talk about timing. Every night, your body goes through sleep cycles, and during deep sleep, which is also known as slow wave sleep, your brain releases the largest bursts of human growth hormone or HGH. Now here's the deal. The majority of this growth hormone is produced during the first 90 minutes of your sleep. So if you're up till 2 a.m. and you're scrolling through TikTok or Instagram, or you're binge watching Netflix, guess what? You've already missed out on some of that precious human growth hormone production. That's bad, right? But here's the good news. By getting to bed earlier and avoiding late night distractions, you can harness those golden hours and optimize your body's ability to grow taller. Aim for a consistent bedtime, ideally around 10 or 11 pm. Now this will align your sleep cycle with your body's natural rhythm, allowing those growth hormones to work their magic. And if you think that's important, wait until you hear how the way you lie in bed can actually crush your height potential, literally. Point number 2. Proper sleep posture to maximize your growth. Have you ever woken up with a stiff back or a sore neck? Well, that's not just discomfort, it's your body's way of telling you that something is off. Poor sleeping posture can actually compress your spine and reduce your height temporarily. Yes, you're shrinking while you're sleeping. What is the solution? Sleep on your back with a pillow underneath your knees or on your side with a pillow between your legs. This keeps your spine aligned and decompresses it overnight, giving you those crucial extra millimeters of height over time. So if you've been sleeping curled up like a shrimp, it's time to straighten things out. But posture isn't the only thing that's stealing your inches. There's something else lurking in your environment that's quietly sabotaging your growth potential. Let's get into that next. Point number 3, control your sleep environment. You've probably heard of this one before, but let's get real for a second. Be honest with yourself. Is your bedroom set up for sleep, or is it more like a second living room with flashing lights from your phone and heat that could rival a sauna? To get into deep sleep, where all the growth happens, your room needs to be pitch black. Even small lights like your phone's notification LED light can disturb your body's melatonin production, which is key for restful sleep. And who here falls asleep scrolling Instagram or YouTube? Yes, we've all been there, we're all guilty. But the blue light from screens suppresses melatonin too. Here's an easy fix though. Turn on night shift or night light mode on your devices before bedtime. This reduces blue light and it shows you more warmer colors, helping you wind down. And speaking of winding down, keep your room cool. Too hot or too cold of a temperature, and you'll toss around all night, missing out on that precious deep sleep. But that's not all. What you put into your body before bed can make or break your sleep quality, and some foods are literally height enhancers. Let's get into the details. Point number 4, foods and drinks to optimize your sleep. You might not realize it, but what you eat and drink in the evening has a huge impact on how well you sleep. For starters, please cut out caffeine at least 6 hours before bedtime. That includes energy drinks, coffee, and even sodas. Caffeine stays in your system way longer than you actually think, keeping your body from getting into that deep sleep state. No, that coffee that you drink at 8 or 9 pm won't just magically disappear by midnight. Instead, try foods that help promote your sleep. Things like almonds, walnuts, and even bananas are rich in magnesium and melatonin. A warm glass of milk can also do wonders to you. But even with the perfect pre bed diet, all of this could fall apart if you make just one critical mistake that disrupts your body's natural rhythm. Let's talk about the most important point, and that is your sleep schedule. Point number 5, the power of a consistent sleep schedule. Consistency is key, no matter what you do in life. Your body thrives on routine, and your sleep schedule is no exception to this. By going to bed and waking up at the same time every single day, even on weekends, you regulate your body's circadian rhythm. This helps keep your internal clock, which is your body's natural clock, in sync, ensuring you get deep sleep and those essential growth hormone spikes every single night. Think of it like programming your body for success. The earlier you get to bed, the better. This is because your body's growth hormone levels peaks earlier in the night. But here's the catch though. There are deadly mistakes that could be silently ruining your high growth potential no matter how optimized your sleep is. And if you're making just one of these mistakes, you could be undoing all of your hard work. Let's get to that in a bit, but first let's recap what we learned. So you've learned about the golden hours of sleep, the power of proper posture. You know how to control your environment, and you also know what foods to eat before bedtime. Now all these tips are the building blocks of your height optimization journey, which starts today. But remember, even with the best sleep routine, one mistake could cost you those extra precious inches that you're in need of. So if you're serious about maximizing your height growth, do not miss my next video, the 7 deadliest height growth mistakes. Trust me, you need to know all 7 of these. If you want to grow taller right now, then make sure you avoid these common mistakes which literally destroy your height growth potential. During puberty, you need to keep your growth plates open for as long as you possibly can. So number 1, don't be overweight or obese. Having a high body fat percentage leads to higher levels of estrogen hormone in our body, which closes our growth plates prematurely. Number 2, don't use Accutane. Accutane is a type of medication which is used to treat severe acne. This matures your chondrocytes, specifically the type X cartilage in your growth plates, which makes your growth plates close faster. So I would recommend fixing your acne and skin naturally. Number 3. Stop smoking, drinking, and taking drugs. Smoking leads to intake of nicotine, which reduces human growth hormone levels in your body. This also leads to higher levels of cortisol in your blood, which acts as a growth inhibitor. Drinking hits your liver, which is responsible for producing IGF-1 hormone, which stands for insulin-like growth factor 1. This hormone is mainly responsible for bone growth during puberty. If your liver is busy filtering out the toxins from the alcohol, then of course it will not produce IGF-1, resulting in shorter height. Drugs, including caffeine, causes lesser growth in your cartilages and bones, not to mention that it is also a sleep inhibitor, so avoid it. Number 4. Sleeping for less than 7 hours. Ideally, you need to sleep for at least 8 hours every single day. Your body grows taller only when you sleep. Human growth hormone production majorly takes place during the first hour of your sleep. So of course, prioritize deep and uninterrupted sleep. Number 5. Not working out hard enough. Make sure to push yourself and go hard on your workouts. Otherwise, you will get average results. Mechanical loading on your bones every single day causes new bones to form faster, which is exactly what we want when we're trying to grow taller. Number 6. Not consuming a rich diet. You need a high bioavailability of vitamins, minerals, and proteins in your body to promote bone growth and repair. A rich diet is also essential for hormone production. Not to mention that you also need a good amount of calcium and vitamin D for good bone health. Number 7, and probably the most important point of all, not avoiding estrogenics. These have the same effect as the estrogen hormone in our body. Higher levels of estrogen decreases your testosterone levels and closes your growth plates faster. Estrogenics are present in tap water and microplastics. Avoid using plastic water bottles since the estrogenics enter into your body, which can mess up your testosterone to estrogen ratio. Soy, flaxseed, and grapeseed also causes gyno, and not to mention that it also decreases your testosterone, so stay away from it.
Number 5. Full stretching guide.
Are you feeling stuck and frustrated that you're not growing taller no matter what you try? Maybe you've tried everything, all the methods to grow taller, yet your height still remains the same. But what if I told you that there is a missing link that could unlock your true height potential? That secret is stretching, and not just any stretching, but a scientifically backed stretching routine that targets your spine and unlocks hidden inches. Most people never reach their full height because they ignore the power of their posture, alignment, and flexibility. And if you're one of them, you could be losing out on a few inches of your height without even realizing it. Stick with me because what I'm about to show you could be the turning point in your height growth journey. Point number 1. The science of stretching and spinal decompression. Let's start with why stretching works for height. Your spine is made up of 33 vertebrae, and between those vertebrae are discs that act like cushions. Throughout the whole day, gravity compresses your spine, which can actually make you shorter temporarily. But stretching, in fact the right kind of stretching, decompresses your spine and helps realign these vertebrae. Think of it like this. It's like letting air out of a balloon all day long, but at night during stretching, you're filling that air back up. You wouldn't want to walk around with a deflated balloon, would you? Well, your spine works the exact same way. But here's the deal. Not all stretches are created equally, so I'm going to show you which ones actually work to unlock your true height potential. First up, let's talk about the Cobra stretch. This stretch is a game changer for your lower spine. By arching your back, you're stretching out those compressed vertebrae, helping to elongate your spine and improve your posture. Here's how you do it. Lay flat on your stomach with your palms down and slowly push your upper body off the ground while keeping your hips on the floor. Hold that position for 20 to 30 seconds while you're breathing deeply. Do this every morning and night for the best results. And wait until you hear about the next stretch. It works wonders for your entire back. The cat-cow stretch. It targets your entire spine from the neck down to your lower back. By alternating between arching your back and rounding it, you're creating flexibility and mobility in your spine, which can help unlock those extra inches. Ever feel like your back is stiff as a board? Well, this stretch turns that stiffness into height boosting flexibility. But let's not stop there. There's another stretch that targets a hidden part of your body that often limits your height growth potential. Now let's talk about the hanging stretch. Gravity compresses your spine all day long, but hanging from a bar does the exact opposite. When you hang, you're letting your spine decompress and lengthen. This is one of the best ways to stretch your entire body, especially if you're sitting for long periods of time or carrying heavy backpacks. All you need is a pull up bar. Just hang for 30 seconds to a minute and let gravity do its thing. But before you rush to the nearest pull up bar, there's another stretch that's crucial for your legs, the forward bend stretch. This stretch works on your hamstrings and lower back, two areas that are often tight and can contribute to poor posture. When your posture is bad, you look shorter than you actually are. This stretch loosens those muscles and aligns your body properly, helping you stand taller. To do this, stand up straight, then slowly bend forward, trying to touch your own toes. Don't worry if you can't reach them at first, just let gravity pull you down gently. Now you must feel a stretch. That is your body getting ready to lengthen and grow. And finally, there's one more type of stretch that targets not just your spine, but your legs, arms, and entire body for maximum growth. The bridge stretch isn't just about flexibility, it's about full body elongation. This stretch works on your spine, shoulders, and even your legs, opening up your entire body and promoting overall height growth. To perform this stretch, lie flat on your back first, bend your knees, and lift your hips towards the sky. You will feel the stretch along your spine and in your chest. Do this regularly, and you will create more space in your spine and stand taller than you ever thought before. Now that you have learned these powerful stretches, the cobra, the cat cow, hanging, forward bend, and the bridge, you're now armed with the tools to start growing taller fast. But here's the thing, stretching alone isn't enough. If you don't pair these stretches with the right sleep habits, you could be leaving inches on the table.
Number 6. Full microfracture guide.
You can grow taller after puberty by creating microfractures. Microfractures are tiny cracks in the bone matrix. Anything that creates stress or compression creates small cracks in the bone. Doing this will lead to longer bones, which is our desired goal. Now that you know the basics, let's get to the methods. Disclaimer: this is not medical advice. This is going to be a long and hard process, but I'm sure it's going to pay off in the long run. So do it at your own risk. Sprinting. Sprinting causes microfractures in the shin. Make sure you stretch in abundance before sprinting. Then sprint as fast as you possibly can for 20 to 30 seconds, then slowly come to a stop and repeat for 5 to 7 times every single day. This also helps boost your growth hormone by 700%, which is like a steroid level increase, which can result in height growth and better healing of microfractures and also more muscle growth. Also try including uphill sprints to increase the impact on your bones. Playing high impact sports such as basketball involves frequent jumping and sprinting, which can put stress on the bones. This same logic applies to playing football or any other high impact sport. This method can lead to stress fractures, particularly in the shins, feet, and knees. Make sure to stay safe and play these sports in a controlled environment to avoid injury. Maasai jumps. This technique is taken from the Maasai tribe from Kenya. This tribe consists of one of the world's tallest people, averaging 6 foot and 3 inches. They jump to incredible heights and for hours every day. Do this for 20 to 30 minutes with breaks before going to bed. All of these techniques use the concept of Wolff's law, which states that the bones adapt to the loads placed on them. You might need additional stress to cause microfractures now, so I would recommend wearing a weighted vest and performing any other exercise such as push-ups, squats, and you can even do sprinting or jumping. If you don't have a weighted vest, then I would recommend putting some weights in your school bag like books or dumbbells, basically whatever you can find to add weight. Then walk up some stairs wearing the bag, but make sure you wear the bag in front of you and not behind you. Make sure to be careful and not injure yourself. As always, go light and know when to stop. Now that we have learned how to perform microfractures, we also need to learn how to stretch the bone properly. Stretching the bone is very important to ensure that your bones grow lengthwise and not just in thickness. A good way to stretch your bone is to cycle. Start with the cycle seat high enough such that your legs are straight and not bent. Then increase your seat height after a week so that you give your legs the definitive reason to grow taller. There is another way to stretch your bone which I highly recommend. At the end of the day, after performing all of these exercises, I want you to sit on the edge of your bed wearing some ankle weights. Make sure your back is straight and straighten out your legs. Now you must feel a stretch on your bone. Try to maintain this position for some time. You can take breaks if you feel tired or exhausted, but do this before bed every single day. The same concept applies if you use banded sleeping. Bones are capable of plastic deformation. That means that the bones can change its shape and size if you force it to. One example is corsets. This is a tight stiff cloth which is worn by women. It trains their torso and hips into a desired shape. After prolonged usage, they see the desired changes in their body. Another example is foot binding. Foot binding was this Chinese custom of tightly binding the feet of girls to change their shape and size. Even ortho braces work in the exact same way. They apply pressure on your teeth so that your teeth align properly. Another real life example is Devin Lorat.
You see something? This arm is longer. You see that?
You can clearly see the difference in his arm length because he exclusively trained his right arm for 2 years. This caused a lot of microfractures due to the high tension and stress applied on his arm. This arm grew in length when he was in his 40s, which is nowhere near puberty. So don't lose hope, you can still grow taller. Remember that your bone health is your top priority. You need to eat a lot of protein and intake a good amount of calcium every single day. There is a lot of information online about techniques that can cause microfractures, but I did not include most of them since they can cause serious life-changing injuries like ligament tears and permanent irreversible joint and bone damage. I have only included the techniques that I personally use and are safe. Make sure you stay safe while doing any form of exercise. Do not ego lift and try to avoid injuries because they take a lot of time to heal. I'm stressing on this point always because it's very important. Tearing your ligaments means that you need to perform a rehab to completely heal them, which takes a lot of time, pain and effort. Serious ligament tears like tearing your ACL would need surgery to reconstruct your ACL and relearning how to walk after the surgery. So here are some injury prevention tips that I feel you should follow at all times. Focus on strengthening the muscles around the knee, especially the quadriceps and hamstrings by doing strength training. Perform exercises that improve balance and coordination and always follow proper movement patterns. Ensure correct techniques for jumping and landing movements in sports.
Number 7. Full guide to Wolff's Law.
You can grow taller at any age, but how? It's because your bones can change with stress. Don't believe me? Well, take a look at this arm wrestler Devin Lorat.
This arm is longer. You see that?
His dominant arm is way longer than the other. This isn't a coincidence. Now consider the Maasai tribe from Kenya, known for their extraordinary height, averaging 6 foot and 3 inches. They have a unique method of growing taller. They jump to incredible heights and for hours every day. The difference in Devin Lorat's arm length and the height of the Maasai people can be explained by Wolff's law. In 1892, German surgeon Julius Wolff stated that bones adapt to the loads placed on them. This is why bodybuilders have denser bones due to their weightlifting routines. So how can we apply this law to grow taller? The key lies in creating microfractures in the bones. By applying the right amount of stress to our legs, we can encourage them to lengthen. Method 1. Cycling. Cycling is an excellent way to stimulate height growth. The Netherlands, with its tall population, is a testament to this. To optimize cycling for height growth, start with your seat high enough such that your legs are straight at the bottom of the pedal stroke. Make sure your legs are not bent. Each week when you cycle, raise your seat a little bit higher so that you keep your legs stretched. Do this daily and you should see results in 3 to 4 months. Method 2. Maasai jumps and stretching. The Maasai tribe's jumping routine causes microfractures in their shins, which then grow back stronger and longer. However, jumping alone isn't optimal. You need to stretch the bones as well. Perform Maasai jumps for 10 minutes with breaks before bedtime. After you have done the jumping, sit on your bed with ankle weights for 15 to 20 minutes. This stretches your bone vertically, promoting lengthening rather than just thickening. Exercise releases cytokines and hormones crucial for growth. Implementing sprints 3 to 4 times a week is insanely helpful for height growth. Sprint as fast as you can for 20 seconds and repeat this 5 to 7 times every day. This boosts growth hormone, testosterone, and your IGF-1 levels. Weightlifting can improve your posture and aid in height growth as well. Focus on compound lifts like deadlifts, squats, and bench presses. Maintain good form and don't go too heavy. Exposure to sunlight boosts vitamin D, which is essential for bone health. Another underrated supplement is boron, which is found in black raisins and dried plums. Boron improves calcium and magnesium absorption, enhancing your bone health and height growth. Recovery and diet are crucial for maximizing your height growth. Sleep. Ensure 8 hours of quality sleep every night. Eliminate junk food and seed oils. Opt for olive oil, grass-fed butter, ghee, or coconut oil while cooking. Conclusion: remember to believe in yourself and trust the process. With the right techniques and dedication, you can grow taller at any age. Get plenty of sleep, eat clean, and stay consistent with your routines.
Number 8. Full sprinting guide.
There is a secret exercise to grow taller fast, and that is sprinting hard. What this does is it boosts the production of human growth hormone by 700%. You do not understand how big of a boost that really is. The boost is almost as big as if you are injecting anabolic steroids into your bloodstream, but in a completely safe and natural way. There's more to it than just sprinting, so the way you do this is you first warm up your body and joints with some basic stretches. Now once you're ready, you sprint as hard as you possibly can for 20 to 30 seconds. Literally give it your all. This is what we call putting your body in the stress mode. Once you've done this, slowly stop running and come to a stop and rest for up to 2 minutes. Then repeat this process for like 5 to 7 times every single day. You can take some rest days if you want to, but the more you sprint, the better. Your hormones play a huge role in determining your height. Human growth hormone causes your bones to grow taller, especially during puberty. Boosting your human growth hormone not only boosts your height, but it also plays a vital role in building muscle. So this is gonna improve your health as well, and you literally see better gains in the gym. This also helps regulate testosterone, which in turn promotes your height growth. Now this is just one way of increasing your height fast. Some other methods that are effective is to maintain a healthy and balanced diet. Weight training in the gym and being fit overall helps as well. Working hard on the days where you feel lazy is the key. Those are the days that actually count when you push yourself past your limits. When you look at athletes that compete in the Olympics, they are usually tall, especially the runners. This is because they have a lesser body fat percentage due to their intense training regime. Remember, genetics contribute to around 85% of your total height, and the other 15% that's left out can be fully maximized if you work hard and follow all of these steps. Remember to believe in yourself, and with dedication and hard work, anything is possible.
You can boost your HGH naturally by clicking on this powerful pituitary gland activation binaural beat with calming rain sounds, and I'll see you on the next one.